Today I fucked up by living in a dark bedroom for 6 years. The overhead fan in our bedroom uses one of those compact halogen light bulbs. 6 years ago the bulb burned out and got really dim, just barely a glow. I bought a replacement bulb, but when I put that one in it was also barely lighting up, so I realized the unit was bad. The fan still worked great. It literally is the best fan I've ever had because it moves a ton of air and is super quiet. The fan had also been a gift when we moved into our house. The unit cost over $400, so I didn't really want to replace it, even though our bedroom doesn't get much natural light, so it is pretty dark. So since then, over the years, my wife and I have had to make do with no overhead light. We open the windows during the day, and at night use a combination of bedside lamps and the bathroom light. It's never really as good of lighting as an overhead lamp, so I keep some flashlights up there for when we are cleaning or looking for something, etc. After 6 years of living in the dark, this winter I just decided I would replace the damn thing. But before I did, I decided to try one last time with another bulb because, however unlikely, it's possible both bulbs I had tried were bad. So I'm up there installing the new bulb, grab the remote. The fan has a remote, and as I'm turning the light on I realize the goddamn thing is dimmable. For 6 fucking years we lived with the inconvenience of no overhead light, and the whole time it was just because the damn thing was set to dim. Fuck me. TLDR. For 6 years I lived with no bedroom light because the overhead lamp was broken, but turns out it was fine and it was just set to a dim setting the whole time. I sat at my dining room table under a very dim fan light that I could have sworn used to be brighter a year ago, reading your post. I got up and hunted down the fan remote stuck forgotten in a drawer and replaced the batteries. There was not obvious slider for a dimmer, but I just held the light button down, and what do you know, the light got a lot brighter. It is fair to say that your post has brightened my life. Thanks. True story, I installed a food disposal years ago and forgot to knock out a plastic piece to hook to the water line. The first time the dishwasher ran after that, it didn't drain. I thought the dishwasher went bad too and didn't replace it for a year and washed dishes by hand. When I bought a new dishwasher and went to hook it up to the water line, I discovered my mistake. I never told my wife what the real problem was. LOL. Long-term troll, your wife knew about it and was waiting for you to finally try to fix it. Glad I didn't wait 6 years to figure that one out when we bought a house. It only took my 5-year-old 2 months to tell us what the problem was. I'm gonna be honest. I totally thought this would end in you finding a huge spider's web or rat's nest or a mass of cockroaches or something when you changed your light. I'm glad it wasn't. Your result was a lot more wholesome. Something else might have been set to dim too. LMAO, that title sounded way more ominous than the actual fuck up. I'm glad it's not a darker story. Your night vision ability improved, so this isn't a fuck up. The part one love most is that it's been 6 years. Like a month would get a slight chuckle, a year would see me expel air from my nose, but 6 years. I was 14 6 years ago, I was in grade 9 and didn't even have a job. That is how long you have just accepted this misfortune of having no overhead bedroom light only to find out it's dimmable. What was your reaction? I'd expect at this point it wouldn't even be one of anger, just a defeated, quiet "you've got to be kidding me." And on the 6th year God said, let this dumb have light. LOL, glad you figured it out, OP. The rare today I fucked up that hit me to the core. Minor. Life-changing. Completely preventable. Swirls wine glass, sniffing. An excellent vintage. This merits a slow clap. But hey, you did figure it out in the end. It's a bright outcome. X200B. X200B. Sorry for the pun, couldn't resist. X200B. Edit. Oh wow, my first silver and my karma doubled in 2 hours. Thank you people. Edit 2 dough that's not silver. Thanks for the platinum. Told this story to my parents because that's something they would do. In pure dad fashion, my dad goes, think of all the electricity they saved. You did end up replacing it, right? Cause no way I would have admitted to my wife that we just had it on dim for 6 years. Not your brightest moment, huh? How many idiots does it take to screw in a light bulb? X200B. 1, but it takes him 6 years. X200B. I probably would have done the same thing, TB. This is what I needed today. That's over 2,100 days. Jesus Christ, my man. How bad was the headache after that face palm? It's okay, I used to wish my car had Bluetooth for music because it had a phone function. Took me almost 6 years to realize you had to switch it to auxiliary, then hit options, and Bluetooth was in a hidden menu. I could have found this out by reading the manual, but who does that, right? The sad thing is, you're not an idiot. You're a normal, functioning human being. This is the sort of thing that everybody does. How did we ever manage to build skyscrapers? How did we go to the moon? How did we make a space BB for scientists? This has got to be one of my favorite posts on Reddit. So technically speaking, today you unfucked your fuck up from 6 years ago. Curb Your Enthusiasm theme plays. If you were a cartoon, you'd be the idiot character that comes up with stupid ideas with a blown light bulb above his noggin. But halfway through season 5 he realizes he can just turn the bulb up and becomes a genius. You and your wife let this go on for 6 years. On the bright were made for each other. Hope one of you doesn't accidentally drown in the shower. I think you yourself are dim. I'm an electrician. This was an easy $100 service call I missed out on. I almost feel bad that I have a perfectly bright overhead light in my room, but I refuse to use it, as I prefer dimmer light from a table lamp, while people are out there suffering. I think you deserve this one. You dumb blockhead. Where was the dim setting at? How many Redditors does it take to fix a light bulb? 1, but it takes him 6 years to figure out what's really wrong with it. I read this when it was new a few weeks ago and promptly forgot about it. Cut to today, when I turn on the LED light in my fan that I installed about 3.5 years ago. It's always been dim and I was disappointed when I bought it. So, I remembered this post. Commence extreme facepalm. My remote is different than the ones posted on here, but same deal, if you hold the light button down it gets brighter. I feel like a complete moron. But, thanks for the post, I now have a well-lit dining room. FYI, it's make do. Sounds like there was more than one dim entity in that room. The kind of happened to my girlfriend and I. So, we've lived in our house for about 4 years and our bathroom sink has only had hot water, the cold water handle never worked. I've never really been a handyman, so I just went along with getting my hand scalded by the hot water. Well, I've working as a hotel maintenance man for about a year and finally decided it was due time I fix it. Well, take a look under the sink and see that the cold water valve has just been turned off. Well, at least my girlfriend thought I was a manly man after I vaguely described I fixed the sink. You've got to be at least 5 smarter than your tools. I thought the end would be like the blinding new light bulb burned your retinas, fell off the ladder, hit your head on the dresser kind of ending. Very glad it was just a dumbass moment. Did the same thing in my car. Forgot the dash was dimmable. Drove at night with a torch to check speed. Changed fuses. Couldn't figure it out. Then over a year later I remembered it was dimmable and my knee must have moved the switch. Felt stupid because I knew about it the whole time and never thought about it.